Welcome to Secrets of the Stars, where we explore the ancient knowledge of astrology, decode your unique blueprint, and unveil how the wisdom of the sky contributes to your life. I'm your host, Abby Lutis, astrologer, mentor, and sky guide. It's time to embark on a cosmic adventure of self-discovery and understanding why you are the way you are. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to Secrets of the Stars. I'm so excited to be back in here today where we're going to unpack all things to do with Jupiter moving into Gemini, which is coming up on the 26th of May. Now, as you receive this episode, I'm going to be back out hiking on the Larapinta Trail, getting back into my tour guiding role, and I'll likely be somewhere in the Chewings Ranges, which is part of the West MacDonald Ranges, which is west of Stanley Chasm, west of Alice Springs in Central Australia. It is one of my favorite parts of the trail, this area in the Chewings Ranges. It's such a diverse place with so much beautiful scenery, with high views and vistas on ridges and secret gorges, incredible waterholes. It's just unbelievable. So this episode is pre-recorded, but I am just looking at the energies, and I've been looking at these energies for a lot of the start of this year and at the end of last year actually, because it's always interesting to know what Jupiter's doing. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance and good fortune, wherever that's moving in your chart, it's always nice to know where that planet is blessing us. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. And before we jump into the episode, I want to let you know that I am still open for readings. So if you are wanting to take a deep dive into your personal chart, or to further understand your uniqueness, your superpowers, and your brilliance, come on over and book a reading with me. And also, if you're wanting to really step up and expand your understanding of yourself and feel self-empowered, come and learn astrology with me. Starlit, my personal development course where you will learn how to use astrology to understand and thrive with the energies that you are naturally embody. This is my beautiful 9-module course, is now currently available to do self-paced, and you can sign up right now and gain access. And when you sign up now, you will also get access into the next live round, which will be later this year. And you can find all the details and links in my show notes. Now, today, let's have a look at this exciting shift of what's going to be happening on the 26th of May, 2024. Jupiter is moving into Gemini. So I'm going to be talking about what this all means generally. I'll give you a rough idea of Jupiter's energies and Gemini's energies, and then what they're going to look like combined. I'm going to also take a look at some of the events that have happened in the past when Jupiter has been in Gemini, just to give you an understanding of what types of things and themes are popping up during this transit. Then I'm going to have a look and break down and talk about how this might impact you according to your sign. And you want to listen out for your rising sign, although you can also tune in for your sun sign as well. So let's unpack what this transit means. Well, Jupiter takes about a year to move through a sign. And so every year we can experience a shift of Jupiter's energies, okay? A changing of the sign for Jupiter. And this year, Jupiter moves into Gemini on the 26th of May and will stay there until the 10th of June, 2025. So the last time that Jupiter was in Gemini was from early June 2012 to later in June in 2013. So if you can cast your mind back to those dates and think about what was happening for you in your life during that time, it might give you an indication of what themes and events and things might be popping up this time that Jupiter moves into Gemini. So I want to break this down for you so you can really understand what Jupiter can reflect and mirror for us, because that is what astrology is. It's simply a reflection of the energies, and we can choose to work with it and use it in abundant ways, or we can choose to not do that. But I'm guessing if you're listening to this podcast, you're interested in the way that astrological take has on our lives here on Earth. So, Jupiter is the largest and fastest spinning planet in our solar system, and also a lot of the time it is the brightest. And so we can see why some of these traits, as I begin to explain them, relate. Okay, astrology is the language of symbology, and you know, simply by knowing that Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system and represents expansion, it's no wonder to me. So also, Jupiter, along with the sun, plays an important role in keeping the entire solar system in place due to its gravitational force, all right? So we are very fortunate to have Jupiter here. It kind of protects us. So this, we can understand now how Jupiter relates to good fortune, okay? And considering all of this, to me, it's not surprising that this planet is associated with growth, being the biggest, largest planet in the solar system, abundance, opportunity, expansion, and good fortune, because even in its reality, in its physical form, that is what it has gifted us here on Earth. So in traditional astrology, Jupiter is known as the greater benefic, a more positive planet, some would say. So we have benefic and malefic, and the benefic planets, while I believe there are positive qualities to all planets, Jupiter, and along with Venus, the other benefic, probably have more fortunate qualities than some of the others. So it's important to remember, too, that whilst it's a benefic planet, there's also the shadow side, right? There's light and shade with everything. So we can choose what we want to work with. And, I say these words like growth and expansion, and positivity and fortune, but growth is not necessarily always supportive, okay? Too much of a good thing is not always what we want. And so we can see how Jupiter's growth might not always be supportive, or Jupiter's expansion might not be what we need. So Jupiter can symbolize abundance, expansion, and connected to good fortune and luck. It's the planet that can help us create and attract opportunities. It's associated with travel, adventure, and also learning and studying and applying knowledge and, just that deeper wisdom. All right. So these are all the things that Jupiter symbolizes and represents in astrology. Now let's have a look at the sign of Gemini. Gemini in its mode is mutable, all right? So this is the way that it expresses energy. And mutable means that it's ever changing, it's adaptable, it's continuously shifting. And in Gemini's element, it's air, representing things that are fast, things that are intellectual, things that are up, things that are communicating and of the mind, so to speak. So mutable air, when we put those two together, which is Gemini, has the ability to think fast, to change quickly, and this is what this sign is known for. It's a very social sign, and these, when we really think about it, this is what it comes down to. Gemini's energy is curious, and it's moving from one idea to the next. It desperately needs mental stimulation. Okay, Gemini is playful, it's flirtatious, it's light, lively, youthful, and has this fun, loving nature to it. It's symbolized by the twins, or the lovers. And this represents duality. So it can understand polarity. It can see two sides of the spectrum. It can have a split personality. It can be one and the other. It can hold both things in these containers. And because Gemini is connected to communication, this in turn connects with Gemini, with community and our local environment, because that's what we do. We have to be in close proximity to communicate. Well, not necessarily anymore, but you can see how this connects in. The places we go, the places that are in our surrounds, these are Gemini themes. Now, in the body, Gemini represents where the body splits in two, essentially. It's our shoulders, it's our arms, it's our hands and our fingers, our lungs and our respiratory system, our nervous system that delivers messages, okay, our capillaries, our speech. And I really think that breath work is going to have a bit of a surge in this transit. It's going to come to the forefront because we need to be using our lungs, this Gemini part of the body, to really help combat the uprise in the mental stimulation when it becomes too much. The challenges of Gemini can lie, as I was saying, in too much mental stimulation, overthinking, being scattered, not being able to focus our thoughts, leading in turn to anxiety. And, this is why Gemini energy might be reluctant to go deeper, all right? Because its energy is ever changing in this intellectual space. It prefers to keep things surface level because that's what it knows well. In nature, I like to associate Gemini with an ever-changing breeze, okay? That's the mutable air. It's continuously shifting, it's continuously changing, and that's what Gemini represents to me in nature. So when we merge these two energies together, because I believe that's how you understand the energy of the time through an astrological lens, you can see different themes unfold. So I'm going to be talking about 5 different themes that I think will be reflective of this energy. But there's certainly many more. Like, this is not absolute. I want to try and keep these podcasts short and digestible, so it's not too much information. All right, so the first thing I think we're going to see is a surge in communication, including an increase in social connection. So more chances to be out socializing, opportunities to expand our social network. So getting more people into our community, and not just online, but in reality, in our real lives as well, right? There's going to be lots of information to share and lots of information to become aware of. We're already seeing this with technology just speeding up exponentially. And I think it's also going to be crucial to manage this potential for feeling overwhelmed with all this increase in communication and getting the word out there, essentially. The next theme I'm seeing is intellectual growth. So more things to learn. We're already seeing this with the rise of technology, right? Especially with AI. There is so much coming, and it's coming in really fast. Idea generation is going to be big. And this also, like, with the use of AI is being accelerated, right? Because now we have this tool that can help us generate ideas. We interestingly enough no longer have to rely on our mental capacity, even though I think that there is an opportunity to pull and draw from that creativity in our minds. Understanding and applying how this intellectual growth, how we can use it in our mind for personal growth. This is such an important topic, and I think we're seeing a rise of it because of the mental health crisis that we are facing. There is this need for the work that we're doing on our minds so that we can grow intellectually and understand how to best serve ourselves. But also, we're going to, along with all this intellectual growth, we're going to need to learn how to quiet the mind as well, right? So that's what I'm seeing in terms of intellectual growth. The third thing I want to talk about is mental stimulation. Now, both of these things that I've talked about already in communication and intellectual growth naturally bring about more mental stimulation, right? More ideas, more things to do, more things to learn, more people to talk to, more for our minds to take on, right? More reasons for our minds to be busy and active. We're going to need to really be careful when it comes to overthinking, restlessness, and in particular anxiety, because I truly believe anxiety falls in this Gemini space. All right. I think breath work is really going to see a rise here because Gemini, as I was saying, represents the lungs and our breath. And this is a way that we can combat this rise in mental stimulation when it's negatively impacting us, because breath work is a way to bring us back into our bodies. The fourth theme I think we'll see is just opportunities to do more things, right? An influx of opportunities, right? Increased local travel, more travel in general, in particular, more travel in our local environment, but people in general are feeling more free to move around the world a lot more now than they have in previous years. So more opportunities coming into us, more opportunities in our local environment, more time spent in our local environment, more time in our community, just more opportunities to be out and about and doing things. So they all kind of lead into my final my final theme here, and that's that the pace of life is just going to pick up, and this is one thing that I really think is true of Gemini. Now, a lot of people are probably going to say, Abby, but my life is already going at such a fast pace. But Jupiter, as this expanding force moving into this fast-paced sign, things are going to feel like they speed up. The pace of life will feel like it's sped up. The environment, whilst this can be fun, I think we need to anchor into the funness of it, the lightness of it, and the mutability of it, the ability to adapt and change. We really need to be caring for ourselves when it comes to these thoughts of overwhelm and having too much on our plate. So they're the themes that I think we're going to see as Jupiter moves through Gemini. I want to shed a little bit of light on things that have happened in past Jupiter moving through Gemini transits. Back in 2001, Wikipedia was launched. So this became a major platform at the time of sharing information. And, Jupiter's influence there, expanding knowledge through different forms of communication. Because back in 2001, the internet was very new, and suddenly we had available encyclopedias on the internet, right? At the tips of our fingers, we could access it. In March of 1989, the World Wide Web was conceived. And this was a pivotal moment because, in the history of the internet, we know how much the internet has influenced our lives and how it has influenced information being communicated and consumed around the globe, right? It's just like, it's hard to think about what life would be like without the internet, right? But, we did live in these times. So back in 1989, the internet was conceived, the World Wide Web, I suppose you could say. Also, in November of 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall was during the tail end of this transit of Jupiter moving through Gemini, leading to an eventual unification of East and West Germany and an expansion of communication and exchange between this previously divided country, okay? Apple Computer was formed by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, and that they released their Apple won in July 1976 during this transit. This marks significant development in personal computing and communication through technology, because that's what a lot of technology really is about, communication, right? This is why it can fall into this Gemini space. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II took place on June the 2nd, 1953, during a Jupiter in Gemini transit. And why this relates is because it was globally televised in 1953, showcasing the power of media and communications and technology to share significant moments worldwide at the switch of turning on the TV. So, you can imagine back in 1953 how significant that was. So there's just some glimpses of events that have been significant whilst Jupiter has been in Gemini. Next, going to look at where this might play out in your life and how it might impact you on a personal level. Now, obviously, it really depends on your chart and where your planets are, but listen out for your rising sign, and you'll kind of get an understanding of where this might be playing out in your life, or you will get an understanding, and where this good fortune, this growth, abundance, expansion, and positive Jupiter is going to be moving through in your chart. You can also listen out for your sun sign as well, but really I've set this up for the rising sign. So we're going to start off with Gemini rising, because why not? I mean, we always start with Aries, so let's have a look at Gemini rising. Gemini, it's going to be impacting you're probably going to be influenced the most by this transit. Let's be honest, because it's going to influence you, you as an individual, and you might notice there's new beginnings, that there's fortunate things happening in your life. It could impact your body, there's likely to be new beginnings, potentially within health, a new identity, maybe a new image, and I'm getting tongue-tied here. Increased vitality, all right? This is really positive and beneficial transit for Geminis. For Cancers, I really want to caution you to just be very careful with this energy, because it's a time when you really need to be resting. And if you're not, and I don't mean resting like on the couch, but just knowing when it's time to pull back the energy. This could be a time of increased loss, getting rid of things, maybe even getting sick. So you can sort of see how Jupiter can impact us in a way that we might not want. It's not all bad though. This is a transit for Cancers where you might want to be focusing your energy within. If you are really tapping into your spiritual inner knowing, your inner voice, this is going to be extremely powerful. What is hidden in the depths of your life? What is, what do you have access? Because the answers are always within us. And this spiritual connection is being expanded. It's being, there's wisdom to be gained by turning within and really tuning into yourself. Leos, this is going to play out in the area of your life that's all about your potentially long-term goals. So, if there's something that you're working towards in the future, something that you want to call in, really harness this energy and work with your dreams here, because there's so much potential. Many opportunities could come in, and they could come in through your connections, through friends, acquaintances, people in your networks, really, even through technology. All right. This could be a time where you start to learn a different skill that's on, maybe you learn about AI, ChatGPT or Midjourney or one of these incredible platforms that brings us so much information, and it really it's a real learning experience for you. Virgo, this is going to impact your career, all right? So there could be advancements, there could be job opportunities, there could be, this is a great time to start a new business if you're a Virgo, and an opportunity to have a big social impact. You'll likely feel ambitious, especially when it comes toward your career. And if you don't have a career, that's fine. It might just be more that you're out in the public more, that your public life becomes the center of attention and in the spotlight. For Libras, this is a great time for learning. Okay, it's a great time to, if there was ever a time that you wanted to learn a new skill, learn a new subject, learn a new topic, tap into building your knowledge. This is the time. Okay, you could also be traveling. There could also be foreign travel on the cards, lots of adventures going on, even a deeper connection to your beliefs, your knowledge, your wisdom. All right, Scorpios. This could be a little tough, right? I mean, there's good and bad things with everything, right? This could see a death and rebirth cycle, or opportunities to face your fears and overcome them, right? This is, I hate mentioning the shadow all the time. So I want to mention, especially when it comes to this area of your life, there could be like deeper intimacy in your life with your significant other. You might even see, this part of your life, or part of your chart, it's all about things associated with death, or things associated with this idea of death, and that we might not want to talk about, right? Things that a lot of people like push down and they don't want to open up about. It's mystery, right? So this area of your life could be, there could be more coming in, okay? More things that are mysterious, more intimacy, more transformation, more fears to be faced, okay? Ultimately, try not to get bogged down in the challenging side of things, and just know that there is, there's light and shade with everything. Sagittarius, this actually, if you are in partnership, could impact your partner more than it impacts you, right? And you might see that. But it could be playing out, maybe your significant other is in your life a lot more, or there's just other, more opportunities. I keep saying more. But this is what growth is all about, right? If you're single, it definitely could see a partnership begin, right? A relationship start. This is the area of marriage. Maybe you're getting married, okay? It can also be the area of where we see our enemies, but the significant one-to-one relationships in our life. Maybe there's an important business partner that is coming into your life. Capricorns, this is going to just pick up your day-to-day life. I think you're generally going to feel like the pace of life picks up. You're going to be feeling quite busy. You're going to need to connect into your routines. And this is an opportunity to really grow from this, what is going on here, to connect into the rituals that you do, the daily work that you do, and how you can anchor and thrive in the things that you make discipline in your day, the things that you make normal for your everyday. Okay, you could see the beginnings of a new health regime. It could also be a time of like putting on weight, or putting on muscle, even building muscle, right? That's how it's going to play out for you. Aquarius, this is likely to be, more on the positive side. Maybe just an opportunity to tap into more of the things that bring you joy, right? More of the things that bring you pleasure, more time for creative pursuits, more time for pleasure, more time for family. You could be having a family, starting a family, more children in your life, a lot more playfulness. This is really going to be beautiful for Aquarius. Pisces, there could be things going on in your home life. You could be moving home, buying a new home, maybe even selling your home, all right? But with the opportunity to expand, maybe you're renovating, building more onto your house, all right? And even this could also be with your family. Like it's maybe more connections with your family, more, it's really about your foundations of your life, the area that not everybody sees, okay? There's going to be lots going on in this private part of your chart. For Aries, this is going to impact you quite dramatically, I'd say. There's going to be probably lots going on in your local environment, lots of conversations going to be had, lots of thinking. You know, if you're working on a writing project, that's an incredible, like if you're writing a book, for example, this is a great time to do that. There's just going to be lots going on in your local environment. I think you're going to be socializing a lot more, especially if you haven't been, and connecting with the people who are really close in your close community. And finally, Taurus, this could be a really good transit for you because this is in the area of your life that's all about your finances, your possessions, your money, your livelihood, the things that support you as a person. So when Jupiter moves through this part of the chart and brings expansion, there could be opportunities to make more money, to attract more money. Maybe you even win money or something like this. But it's not necessarily always going to be like this. It might even just bring focused attention to your finances, that you need to, that it's time to actually apply a budget in your life, all right? Think something that is going to bring security so that you can build your wealth, right? This is a great time to look at your values and start to actively apply them in your life, okay? All the things that support you to be who you are, that is what is going to be incredibly important during this time. So there you go. That's my take on Jupiter in Gemini. I definitely think it's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be fast-paced. There's going to be lots going on, lots to talk about, lots to learn. And I think what we need to remember is to just remember to take a breath and remember to come back into our bodies, because they give us so much information about how we are feeling and what we can do. So I will leave you there and I hope you enjoy this transit of Jupiter moving through Gemini. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're interested in booking in for a reading or signing up for my course, my astrology course, Starlit, please go to my website, abbylutis.com. You can find all the details there. You can find everything in the show notes of this episode too. And until next time, keep shining bright. Thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey of self-discovery. If you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and share it with someone who you think would love it. Keep exploring the secrets of the stars, and remember, the universe has woven a unique story just for you. Until next time, keep shining bright.